There's another plane taking off.
Welcome to the Brunswick Executive Airport for the 2021 Great State of Maine Airshow, presented by Bill Dodge Auto Group. My name is Luke Carrico, and what a pleasure it is to serve as your airshow commentator for the aerial action of both Brunswick and Cumberland County and what's turning out to become a fantastic Sunday afternoon. In just a few moments, we're going to see some of our nation's finest aviators as we set the stage for one of America's greatest aerial events, unmatched any place else in the country this weekend. On today's show, we will see skydivers from the Red Bull Air Force as they make their way in from over 5,000 feet above. From Boston, Massachusetts, representing Wheelan Aerospace Technologies, we'll see Michael Goulian in the Extra 330 SC. From all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota, we'll welcome Mike Wiskus of the Lucas Oil Pit Special. We'll see five-time world aerobatic champion Rob Holland. Witness high-speed jet action with the L-29 Albatross, the T-33 Shooting Star. We'll see the P-51 Mustang, and of course, you won't want to miss the Blue Angels. All of this and much more coming at you as we celebrate flight and we celebrate freedom. On this great day in Brunswick, Maine, we have an exciting air show lined up for you, full of smoke, full of noise, and of course, the sound of freedom. So we welcome you to sit back, relax, find a nice spot, and get ready as we present to you the greatest show above Earth, the 2021 Great State of Maine Air Show.
Okay, I see it now.
We'll be welcoming in 4 jumpers as we prepare to open our show. Luke Akins will be flying in our Stars and Stripes under cannon as we honor America, honor our flag, and salute the men and women who serve beneath that flag with our traditional air show opening. On a small leather ball located at their left hip and deploy those high-flying canopies of the Red Bull Air Force. A magnificent sight high above as Luke Akins unfurls the American flag, and as we see Rob Holland and Mike Goolian as they circle with their smoke. Joining us on the stand today, Ginger Lee Smith, as she prepares to sing our national anthem. And Ginger, what a pleasure to have you here at the 2021 Great State of Maine Air Show.
Luke, thank you so much. And can we please have a warm welcome for Luke and his absolutely fantastic narration. He really guides us through the show, and it's a pleasure and an honor to have him here in Brunswick, Maine. Brunswick, Maine is where my father served in the Navy and why I'm here today. He served 30 years as a Master Chief, and it's a thrill, and I'm humbled and honored to offer our national anthem. The national anthem is a beautiful song, and it asks a simple question. On the morning following a hard-fought battle, was our flag still there? We know that it absolutely was. It's just unfurling beautifully today. It's my honor to offer our national anthem, and I dedicate it to the 13 lost in Afghanistan with the Bible verse, John 15:13. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. Please rise, remove your hats, and as we present our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts
gentlemen.
Enjoy the show. God bless America.
A huge round of applause for Ginger Lee Smith and our national anthem. And let that extend to Amy Shimalecki, Mike Swanson, Sean McCormick, and Luke Akins bringing in the American flag courtesy of the Red Bull Air Force. With our jumpers now safely on the ground, the action continues. It's very shortly. We're going to be welcoming in a gentleman who helped circle our jumpers. His name is Rob Holland, flying the MXSRH. RH standing for Rob Holland. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a couple of moments. He is inbound right now to set up for a little teaser, if you will, a little warm-up to get fully in tune with his airplane. Much like a boxer entering a ring or a Formula One driver getting into the car, it's all about getting in the zone. He's high above us right now, ensuring his seatbelts and shoulder harnesses are tight. His engine instruments are in the green, and he is set and ready to go, both physically and mentally, to commit himself to some world champion aerobatic flying. 30 miles an hour screaming into the box. The world's about to get heavy right about now as he goes through a series of outside shoulder rolls and tumbles as he makes his way off to the right end of our aerobatic box. Rob is from Nashville, New Hampshire. He is the 2012 recipient of the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award and has won countless regional, national, and world aerobatic competitions. He is known for performing impossible, and as I mentioned, the technology has become so great with the construction of these aircraft, they're only limited by the pilot inside. Let's watch him now on the 45-degree upline as he holds it inverted, holding by his seatbelts and shoulder harnesses as he pushes forward, nose for tail in a forward somersault, and recovers just around 300 feet above the ground. Going back down the same way he went up. 2 high-speed snap rolls on the downline, 1 roll to the right. He'll extend down to Airshow right. Ladies and gentlemen, Brunswick. The smoke exploding in the sky as he hurls this airplane around like a broken toy. No, with precision, incredible precision. That's the mark of Rob Holland. This is an incredible machine. I mentioned to you, only weighing about 1,200 pounds. 100 horsepower. If you do the math, that's about a 1-to-1 thrust ratio. In this maneuver, we call the slide winder. As he slides on the 45-degree upline, using that big rudder out there, to fly the airplane sideways, he'll turn it into a torque roll, a maneuver first seen back in 1972 by the great Charlie Hillard to win for the U.S. gold. Using the torque of that engine to stop in one spot in the sky and bring it right back down through his as Rob continues with his warm-up performance. Let me tell you a little bit about Rob Holland. He's been flying since he was 18 years old, and collectively has amassed more than 15,000 hours of flight time in more than 180 different kinds of aircraft. Aerobatic flight is his passion. He is a showman. He is a competitor. He is a mentor pushing the limits. The most capable aerobatic airplane on the planet. And when he's not tumbling around the sky, he's a pilot flying charter flights. He's most at home doing what you're seeing right now. Salute to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. He has slowed this aircraft down and turned it into a helicopter, showcasing to you that 1-to-1 thrust ratio. Ladies and gentlemen of the 2021 Great State of Maine Airshow, let's put our hands together for Rob Holland. As Rob clears low and to the right, we welcome in the second of our gentlemen who circled our jumpers. This, from Boston, Massachusetts, is Michael Goulian. Aerospace Technologies, the industry leader in providing high-quality aircraft lighting products that provide safety, visibility, and recognition. They are proud to sponsor Michael Airshows across North America this year, and we too are going to see a little warm-up by Michael here this afternoon. Mike Goolian might be a name familiar to you if you followed the Red Bull Air Race World Championship on TV over the years. Michael was one of only a handful of pilots chosen for this sport back in 2006. Motor Speedway just a few years ago. He too, an incredible pilot showcasing the precision in every single maneuver he performs. Revolutionary design and maneuverability of this German-built composite airplane. Bringing it around as he swaps now at airspeed for up to altitude for airspeed. Of our aerobatic box. The double hammerhead, turn on a dime and giving you 9 cents change. How do you like Michael Goolian? Michael helped write the book on advanced aerobatics. His dad taught him to fly growing up. Just a teenager. The extra 330 is powered by the extra 330 has power and it has horsepower. He actually uses the gyroscopic force of that engine to tumble nose or tail as he goes through this maneuver known as the Lubshavak. That's Czechoslovakian for headache, if you know what I mean. He is going to recover out there to air show right, but how about we give Michael Goulian a big round of applause. Get into that airplane, get into the airspace. We will see more from these two fantastic gentlemen later on in our air show program. His aircraft to begin today's L-39 flight demonstration. You may have noticed a large number 7 painted on the side of Larry's jet. He is a regular competitor at the Reno National Championship Air Races out in Reno, Nevada each and every year, racing in the turbofan producing 3,800 pounds of thrust. And even today, the L-39 is still operated by a variety of air arms across the globe, including Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Egypt, Bulgaria, and even Cuba. As I mentioned, this was the trainer that many countries use for their fast jet pilots to move on to the frontline fighters. The Eastern... Pulling back on the stick, subjecting himself to some 4 times the force of gravity. As we stand here on Earth, we are at 1G, or 1 times the force of gravity. But as Larry goes into these pulls, he will, of course, accelerate that force. And it's a lot of power pushing down into the cockpit. Coming back through for the full 360-degree roundhouse loop. Let's give Larry Labriola and the L-39 a big round of applause. Larry is now performing this classic aerobatic maneuver known as the Cuban 8. This maneuver was invented much by accident. In Miami Air Races back in 1936, there was an American pilot named Len Povey. He was performing an aerobatic display there. Pulled up into the loop. The unpleasant meeting with the ground, he rolled into primate's loop, just as Larry has, and then roll it upright. He did so again, inscribing this giant figure 8 leg on its side. At the time he was training the Cuban Air Force pilots, and the Cubans, they were amazed. They had never seen the maneuver before, and they asked Lynn Povey what that was called. And with quick wit, he replied, Ocho Cubano, or Cuban 8, and the name has stuck for more than 85 years. How about that? Let's give it up for Larry Labriola and the Cuban 8s. Larry needs to keep those lawns being mowed because this aircraft burns 200 gallons of Jet A fuel an hour. These forms this very challenging slow roll. A very graceful maneuver, but by far one of the hardest maneuvers to perform well. In his right hand, the control stick. In his left hand, the throttle. And down by his feet, he has it. Like to extend his sincere thanks to the Airshow Network and the great state of Maine Airshow. Of course, to the people of Brunswick, all the way up to just under the speed of sound. This pass given by around 350 knots. He's going to be climbing up in front of us to set up for his air start here in just a couple of minutes. But I want you, and of course that Airshow smoke system made by injecting a paraffin-based oil into the exhaust system. And where it goes there, it vaporizes and creates a beautiful smoke trail across the sky. EPA approved, and the only thing that doesn't quite like it are the mosquitoes. And well, we are okay with that. Towards the clouds, the P-51 Mustang. This airplane was designed originally under the request of the British. They were looking for a fighter to supplement their Supermarine Spitfires and Hawker Hurricanes, and originally requested North American Aviation to build on licensed Curtiss P-40s. Chief designer of North America at the time, Dutch Kindleberger, says, no, I'll build you a new airplane, and this was the result. On board, that howl of that 1,650 cubic inch 12-cylinder rolls for his next maneuver. And as he dives this aircraft in from the left at over 400 miles an hour, he pulls back on the stick and rolls into the 8-point hesitation roll. Let's give Lou Horsham a big round of applause. Lou's father, as I mentioned, a World War II fighter mechanic, and boy, did he have the stories. And it's born for Lou a lifetime love of flying. He's flown World War II fighters to include the Mustang, the chance of honor for you Corsair was nothing more. It was great them for audiences across the United States. Once again from the right, showcasing the Lou says the Mustang is a thoroughbred. He says you never quite own a P-51 or any warbird in that manner. We watched Louie out there. He makes his way in the P-51 Mustang. This aircraft is what is known as a tailwheel airplane, and they're actually quite challenging to land. As he now follows this aircraft toward that airplane is no longer flying. It is falling, but it certainly is not flying. Right about in here, he reconnected the nose down. Let's welcome Mike Wiskus. Every inch of the aerobatic box, as you can see, top down, he uses it and manages energy within it. He builds up all of that speed and energy. It's very comfortable. Love the grass out there, pulling and pushing sometimes in she's not away. It speaks to his fitness. He is athletic. Here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's Mike Wiskus. Bought this airplane off of eBay, believe it or not, after he experienced a wreck. He modified it to allow him to fly when it comes to the rudder, all sorts of miles an hour. As he dives down, he builds up all of that energy as he needs in order to flip this airplane end over end. On the vertical once again. Watch him now as he rolls to the right. Capping up on the top. He's now pointing down towards show center. Watch this as he stalls one of the wings going into two rapid left rolls as he now Mike is brought to you by Lucas Oil, the fastest growing manufacturer of superior fuel oil products for cars, motorcycles, and ATVs. The name of legend in the racing industry, Lucas Oil products designed to withstand extreme temperatures. Oil products will lower your engine temps and extend the life of your engine. Mike is originally Minnesota, and when he was just 10 years old, his father took him to an air show. He loved it, and he loved it so much that he rode his bike to the airport every day to earn money, learn how to fly. He was sweet the head. He started flight training at just 14 years old, and now playing with the trees out there, has amassed more than 27,000 hours of flight time, more than 40 years of experience, and you are seeing all that culminated in his performance here this afternoon. Right down on the deck at times, let's call that jackrabbit staring altitude. Jets, and you will see two poles out there. In between those two poles that are probably sequenced apart, maybe 80, almost 70 feet, I would guess. There's a streamer, there's some ribbons out there that are about 30 feet above the ground. Mike's job today is to attempt, keyword, attempt to cut those ribbons with the propeller of his biplane. That's what we're gonna see. Now, it all has to look right, it all has to feel right, it all has to just make sense. So now, having performed a couple of high-speed passes down the runway, I think that last pass he went underneath the ribbons. He is setting up now for what is going to be his ribbon cut. Giving himself plenty of room. Look to the left, the smoke is on. Oh, and by the way, one thing I didn't mention to you, he's going to try to cut the ribbon while flying upside down. Let's take a look. And he got it. The world authorized to do the inverted ribbon cut. Wiskus is also brought to you by MHT We talk about those positive G's, there's some negative G's, and boy, does that have to hurt. All of the forces of gravity, the blood rushing up to his head. At times, these pilots will actually begin to see pink because of how their bodies, especially in this full 360-degree outside loop. That is incredible stuff. With a nearly 1-to-1 thrust ratio, this allows Mike to almost hang this airplane in one spot in the sky and still have the maneuvering capability to put the airplane where he wants to. He will often slide this airplane in reverse in excess of 50 miles an hour. And he is an absolute fantastic performer on the North American Air Show circuit. Right now to the left, watch him, just 15 feet above the ground, 250 miles an hour. Rolling the airplane. Look at the roll rate on that airplane, some 360 plus degrees per second as he holds it on the prop. All in the airplane. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together from Lucas Oil, Mike Wiskus. Showcasing how aggressively this guy's flying out there. If you're like this lady down here shaking her head just back and forth, I totally understand. I've had the chance to fly in some of these high-performance airplanes, and I don't do very well. I had to throw up. The only problem was I didn't know which way up was. Now, Mike is going to set up for a series of photo passes for you, and he's going to be coming in from our left, bringing it with a lot of indication to us that we're setting up for a pretty incredible maneuver. Watch him as he works the rudder of that airplane. He's on a backward trajectory right now as he pushes forward, as he goes nose to tail into a double flip. Battling that wind wind up there at altitude. Of course, as we go up in altitude, those wind directions, the velocity can change quite a bit. Mike Wiskus has a surface-level aerobatic waiver, and what that means is he can use every single inch of that big aerobatic box out there, and boy, does he like to go play with the trees. Now, cameras at the ready. He's going to bring it in from the left for 2 passes. This is going to be the knife edge pass. That airplane, the wings no longer creating any lift whatsoever. He is holding it on just sheer pilot skill and horsepower of that MT propeller. Look at this, it's the knife edge pass. Airplane to turn. That's how much rudder he's got. A lot of gravity. It's kind of like power steering in your car. All he has to do is just a couple of inches left and right on those controls. He thinks about it. He's rolling around like a top. You could say this kind of championship flying runs in the family. Wiskus recently competed in the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo just a few months ago. So a big congratulations to Shane and the Wiskus family for that outstanding achievement. We talk about that wind at altitude, slowing that airplane down. In the cockpit, it says 0 miles an hour right there as he performs his little hover there off to airshow left. Mike Wiskus, Lucas Oil Pits Special. He just likes to find some trees out there. Sometimes I wonder if he's going to make a career change from airshow pilot to lumberjack. He certainly likes to get pretty darn close to those. Mike wants me to intake Lucas Oil, MAV TV, and West Metro Aviation. And as he sets up to land, let's give Mike Wiskus a big round of applause for his outstanding airshow flight here at 2021 Great State of Maine Airshow. Special biplane. The original now have jumpers away, ladies and gentlemen. There they come at over 120 miles an hour in terminal velocity free fall. They're going to be making their way down, this time flying on some high-speed canopies that have an inherent forward speed of over 40 miles per hour. These are much smaller than the skydiving canopies you typically see. We like to call them smooth chutes. The jumpers of the Red Bull Air Force are also involved in base jumping, jumping from fixed objects such as bridges and cliffs, and 40 miles an hour under parachute, that's pretty fast. And they've got a much smaller surface area than other skydiving rigs. They're going to make their way down. Now, the operation of these canopies is fairly simple. To turn left, you pull down on the left steering line. To turn right, you pull down on the right steering line. And as the jumpers near the ground, they will pull down on both steering lines simultaneously. That'll fill up the canopy and allow them to slow down. Because they're under these high-speed swoop chutes, they're going to do precisely that. Swoop into position. Watch now as they make their way down. First in, Amy Shimalecki getting a great look at all of you, and I'll tell you what, the ground is a great reflector of sound, and even though they're still at altitude, it's dead silent up there. Let's make some noise as Amy makes her way in. Followed closely by Luke Akins, approaching it over 60 miles an hour, bringing it in right behind the Blue Angels. Red Bull gives you wings. Two outstanding Red Bulls. Mike Swanson has more parachute jumps than just about under wingsuit than just about anyone else on the planet today. Again, very small parachutes, high performance shoots, forward speed of around 40 miles an hour. All right, Brunswick, let's make some noise. Let's get these two gentlemen in on target. And a beautiful stand-up landing by Mike Swanson as we watch Sean McCormick approaching in high and above. Yeah, buddy, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the Red Bull Air Force. Red Bull gives you wings. These are some of the greatest air show skydivers anywhere on the face of the planet, and we are so thrilled to have them here this weekend. They are going to now set up for a little drag race on front of the runway as we set up for what will be our full race in just a couple of moments. Mike has been racing jet cars for nearly 20 years, and today we often race around 4 to 5 guys out there annually, and Bill Brock is one of those. Mike again throwing down some smoke, talking Bill Brock in that jet car. He has invaded
off the run.
Now, this jet car can go from 0 to 400 miles an hour in just 9 seconds. Top speed of our planes is about 230 miles an hour. Bill is going to continue to work out there, stroking his way into my Wiskus airspace. Mike Wiskus continues to tear it up out there as well. Now, like any good grudge race, it's all about one up and one another. So that's what you're seeing right now. Mike and Bill are good friends, but they're always up to give each other a hard time off the air shows in front of thousands of people. You boys play nice out there. Bill working for burner. This jet car burns about 2 gallons every second when it's in after.
There's a bird up there that wants to win the race.
He will use all during his high-speed run. Ice Bike was an It does seem that Mike's getting just slightly irritated there. But hey, what you gonna do? Fire it all. Okay, here's what we are gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna set up for a race for the decades as we set up to pair Bill Brock and the Smoke and Thunder jet car at Mike Wiskus. The car will have a standing start. As soon as Mike passes, he will be on the roll. Mike will have a flying start, coming in with all the speed he wants. This is my question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Who thinks the airplane's gonna win? Okay, who thinks the jet car is gonna win? We are about to see he's inbound now from the left. Let's watch and get ready, as this is gonna be a heck of a run. 3, 2, 1, and there they go! Today, let's give it up for Bill Brown and Mike Wiskus, the ultimate showdown of Wiskus versus Wheels. A friendly debate settled for yet another day. High speed run on that today, 401 miles an hour.
401 miles an hour.
Upside down.
They were both doing 400. That's that video.
And if you thought that was fast, you should see my girlfriend drive an I-265.
He just went like that over the Chevy.
A victory rolls out there by Mike Wiskus. He'll bring it around to land as the air show action continues here at the 2021 Great State.
Yeah, Mom did some
Air
things
Show.
for me.
Did?
Yeah, I couldn't even, I won this.
One?
Yeah, you know what I had to do?
What?
just over 10,000 feet. And depending on that cloud deck, it can change the way the performers fly, and that includes the Blue Angels. So what we have today is likely a high show, clear up to about 15,000 feet. If we get some clouds that move in, we'll roll into what's called a low show. Where the weather's not so great, when it's really not great, we'll go to what's called a flat show, where most of the vertical maneuvers will be replaced with more horizontal or flat figures. Our civilian performers, they too have variations to their show and can work them as they need to fly in some not so great weather. And of course, if it rains, that might put us into a short hold, but don't be a factor for this afternoon. You all wait 15 minutes, it'll change. Over 250 miles an hour. Michael is known for giving his air show performances 110% every time he flies, and by the look of that entry, that's not about to change today. Ladies and gentlemen, it just doesn't get any better than this. Center. He'll set up for the next maneuver, a long pull back around. Ready, hit it! is also one of a select few to have received all 3 of the airshow industry's highest awards. Fans, my name is Luke Carrico, and it has been my privilege to present to you Michael Goulian.
Swallow strong and use my head.
Michael performed his first air show in 1989 when he was still a teenager. He's been a dream ever since. Today, he's one of the best air show one of the 7 aviators who have received all 3 of the air show industry's top awards. Michael is also one of the elite group of pilots who compete in the Red Bull Air Race World Championship. This mind-blowing race of speed and agility plays out in amazing cities throughout the globe each summer. Only a few individuals have enjoyed the success that Michael has in the air show industry, and he feels incredibly lucky and honored to be able to make a living flying aerial displays for fans like you. Goolian Aerosports is only able to perform at the highest levels of the industry by partnering with very special companies. In addition to Wheeling Aerospace Technologies and Alpina, Michael relies on champion engine components like Lycoming engines, Hertzel propellers, and Bose aviation headsets. Michael also flies from show to show in a Cirrus SR-22, the amazing general aviation plane with a parachute. The Cirrus life allows Michael to be reunited with his family most Sunday evenings following a grueling air show weekend. A custom-built, all-carbon fiber American-made masterpiece. Weighing some 1,200 pounds and producing 380 horsepower from its awesome Lycoming engine, the MXS is arguably one of the most highest-performing aerobatic airplanes in the world today. With a roll rate of some 500 degrees per second, positive and negative 16 Gs, the MXS is the only aircraft capable of meeting Rob's extreme demands and trademark maneuvers. During today's performance, Rob will be experiencing more than 11 positive G's shoving him into the cockpit and 9 negative G's trying to throw him out of it. to help protect the value of your aircraft and preserve the comfort of your flight crew and passengers. Now let's watch as Rob sets up for another groundbreaking maneuver as he performs what we like to call the Cardiac Express. Rocking and rolling out there, Rob Holland, your reigning 5-time world aerobatic champion. Rob and many of his performers you see today are proud members of the International. And for more information, visit imac.com to learn more about the pilots and learn how you. Now, Rob is in for one of our favorites. This is called the slide winder. Going upstairs on a 45-degree angle. Airplanes are simply not supposed to do that. He'll throw it into a torque roll, hold it on the prop, and fly out of it, going back down the same way he went up. Now, I want you to keep your eyes on Rob as he's going to take it up and over the top and set up for a very unique maneuver, where he will abruptly stop his aircraft in one spot in the sky. He's going to bring it down to very low airspeed. Let's watch him now as he draws that 45-degree line, a mark of precision competition aerobatics. 230 miles an hour as he pulls back on the stick, subjecting himself. Oh, there's 10 G's as he goes up and over. Watch him now as he rolls upright. He'll perform this series of snaps and slow the airplane down. Let's watch him as he performs this maneuver known as the Cobra. Striking out of nowhere, let's give Rob Holland a big round of applause. Rob is going to climb and take a quick breather. Let that engine cool down just a little, and as he does so, we're going to go up and say hi to Rob Holland live from the cockpit as he has a few words for us today. Hey, Rob Holland, it's Luke Carrico on the announcer stand. Do you hear me, buddy? Hey, we are doing fantastic. I'll ask the crowd, how are you all doing? Make some noise so we can hear you. Giant heart in the sky dedicated to all of those who have served our great country. Rob, that looks great. What are we looking for next? Thanks, Rob. Rob Holland live from the cockpit. He is now setting up for part number 2. Officer Rob Holland. Look at the incredible roll rate of the MXS as he now runs out of airspeed and sets up for this rolling spin. All the control surfaces will be reversed as he takes it through a series of spins on the way back down. Now, you do not want to miss this next maneuver. It is a Rob Holland, what we like to call the inside tumble. Rob is a champion of competition events at both the national and world level. As you see him fly, you can see he is all about precision. take this moment to thank his sponsors. They are MHT Aviation, Fremont Watches, Whirlwind Propellers, MX Aircraft, Afterglow Aircraft Solutions, Champion Aerospace, Two Drone Aviation, and Blacktop Engines. He wants to thank High Desert Avionics, Pro Aircraft Landing Gear, Hutchinson, Shape Precision Eyewear, Skyboard Fasteners, Summit Parachutes, and Hooker Harness. Rob also invites you to visit him on Facebook at facebook.com/Ultimate Air Show. Let's watch as he continues to tear it up. Now setting up for a maneuver in tribute to the mighty AV-8B Harrier II of the United States Marine Corps. The jet deck and hover, slowing the MXS down to a crawl, holding it on just sheer horsepower and pilot skill. This is Rob Holland's Harrier Pass. A few more passes as part of his display today, giving you a great look at this high-performance aerobatic monoplane. Get those cameras ready. But not Rob Holland. He is no ordinary pilot. So he's going to land his aircraft in a unique way, and instead he is going to drop his airplane out of the sky in that fashion. So performing a series of spins on the way down. Keep your eyes on him as he comes in for one of the most intriguing landings I've ever seen. And he is down, but yet one extra roll, a touch and roll. That's it. That's Rob Holland, everybody. Let's hear it all the way up and down the line. The top. Ray looks at us from the inverted position. Pulls back through this clover loop maneuver. Greg flies his show today to remember the heroes, especially those of the Korean War. Coming back down to this about 400 miles right there as he extends down to our right. Well, about 5 degrees on the aircraft as he sets up for this looping maneuver. It was June 23rd, 1943, that General Hap Arnold approved the letter of contract for Lockheed to built the very first XP-80. The XP-80, nicknamed Lulu Bell, was built in a temporary structure thrown together in just 10 days, made of old packing crates. An entire machine shop was bought, so the tools currently used on the Lockheed production line would not have to be integrated in full wartime production. 123 men, 23 engineers, and 105 shopmen worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week to build the very first XP-80. It flew in just 203 days and lifted off the dry lake bed in Southern California and flew for the first time at a top speed of 502 miles an hour. Greg Collier now completes the second half of his Cuban 8, describing the giant the first jet versus jet aerial combat took place between a P-80 and a MiG-15. Now, Greg Wire Collier approaches from our right, showcasing you just a fraction of this jet's top speed, clocking in at nearly 500 miles an hour. T-33 remains to this day to be the fastest straight-winged single-engine jet on the face of the planet, powered by a 5,500-pound thrust Allison turbojet engine that allows it to climb nearly a mile a minute from sea level. Coming by now from the left with a slow roll, maintaining a perfect line down the show line as he works the rudder, the ailerons, and the elevator all the way through. Let's give Greg Collier a nice round of applause in the East Peak for the T-33 shooting star. Number of T-33s are available on the civilian market, just like this one. 2 are currently retired, most recently by the Boeing company. They integrated them as chase aircraft, and it was 2010 T-33 chased the maiden flight of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Greg Collier operates multiple T-33s and stays busy not only flying at air shows, but working with the U.S. Air Force test pilot program out of Edwards Air Force Base in California. Coming on through for the Level 8, showcasing the tight turning capability of the Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star. Student pilots to get a feel of frontline fighting aircraft before being assigned to out of the F-4 Phantom, the F-100, maybe the F-86 and three more, just to name a few. But now to demonstrate the role of the T-33, Greg approaches high and to the right for the double aileron roll. Built somewhere close to 6,600 T-33s in-house and on license with the countries of Canada and Japan. This particular jet, a Canadair CT-133 Shooting Star, painted in the colors of the U.S. Air Force during the 1950s when the T-33 was in full operation. Another great photo pass there as Greg comes by. The T-33 stands 38 feet 11 inches. Empty it weighs 8,400 pounds, but when fully loaded with fuel and all, it comes in at 12,000 pounds. Max speed 599 miles an hour. Cruises quite well too at 455 miles an hour. Good range, thanks to those big tip tanks out there. 1,275 miles. They can reach altitudes in excess of 48,000 feet. Now, you can see the smoke getting wispy out there, and that is our indication that Greg is slowing down. He's going to set up this time for the dirty pass. And what that means is he's going to come by flying aerodynamically dirty. That means the landing gear and the flaps will be extended. With all of that extra drag out there, it actually slows the airplane down. And even though this airplane can fly nearly 600 miles an hour, it flies very nicely at slow speeds as well. Another great photo op for your eyes and cameras for the slow speed dirty pass of the Acemaker.
What was it? That was quick. Well, we were literally like 2 people from the guy, and he's like, yeah, we're going to take these 2 people and the rest of you, sorry. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, we got to get our clothes off. Just literally only like take them out of the trash. Say, okay, I'll leave everybody here. And you don't get halfway in line. I didn't know we were going behind. They took off.
What a bummer. Yeah.
No, I didn't take off. Like, you know, I just let it run. I can let it
buddy.
Look out.
Some decent acceleration there as Greg cleans up the T-33. For Greg Collier, Coastside Water. The T-33, great controllability, very easy to fly, but a chance to fly back seat this particular jet has great tolerability, hesitation roll. This airplane with a very rich history. At one time, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels actually had a T-33 in their mix. 2-seat aircraft intermediate flight back in the 1950s. Pretty cool stuff. Now, get your cameras ready, as this will be your last photo opportunity to capture this historic jet on your cameras. Coming in now from the left at over 400 miles an hour, Greg Wired Collier and the Acemaker. Greg Collier and the Acemaker Airshows would like to thank Strong Enterprises, Airtronics, and West Carolina. As he sets out to recover, let's give Greg Collier.
Of basic techniques taught to every prospective naval aviator. Here at Brunswick, We will demonstrate these maneuvers at very low altitude in traditional Blue Angel formation so that you may see and take pride in the precise fashion in which your Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to fly. Now, direct your attention to the ramp before you. Observe the military manner in which the 6 demonstration pilots approach their aircraft and are saluted by their crew chiefs.
It's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flying Blue Angel number 1, the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels from Fargo, North Dakota, Commander Brian Kesselring. Flying Blue Angel number 2, the right wingman from Canadian, Texas, Lieutenant Commander James Haley. Flying Blue Angel number 3, the left wingman from Kingwood, Texas, Major Frank Zastapil. Flying Blue Angel number 4, the slot pilot from Chesapeake, Virginia, Lieutenant Commander Jim Cox. Flying Blue Angel number 5, the lead solo from Reading, Pennsylvania, Commander Ben Walborn. Flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Atlanta, Georgia, Lieutenant Commander Kerry Rickoff. Demonstration team. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have brought naval aviation to men and women of all ages across America. We were first based at Naval Air Station, Jacksonville, Florida, flying F-6F Hellcats. We continued flying Grumman Corporation aircraft for 22 years, transitioning in late 1946 to the more powerful and faster F-8F Bearcat. In 1950, we transitioned to jet aircraft with the straight wing F-9F2 Panther, the predecessor of the swept wing F-9F8 Cougar, which we received in 1955. In 1957, the Blue Angels became equipped with high-performance aircraft with the arrival of the supersonic F-11F Tiger. In 1969, we received the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom and flew this supersonic jet until 1974 when we transitioned to the A-4 Skyhawk. In 1987, we acquired the F-18 Hornet and demonstrated its reliability over 34 show seasons. We are now in our first year of flying the combat-proven Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet. The Blue Angels fly the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet, a multi-mission strike fighter, versions of which have been operational throughout the fleet since 2001.
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted,
He's nervous, been on the surface, looks hungry, ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking, he closes his all, just closes all on. Coast to coast,
Chewie. Here's smoke push off. Off. Good afternoon, boss. Update Windsor 190 at 10. Boss, squawk 1201. Baxter, squawk 1205. Chewie, squawk 1206. You're clear taxi here, ramp. Go. Alpha 1 to runway 19 left. Wait, 19 left. Big smoke, clear to taxi. Line up and wait, runway 19 left.
The Diamond on liftoff and commence the Diamond burn or go on takeoff. As the Diamond clears the flight line, the two solo pilots begin their takeoff maneuvers. In a dynamic display of the thrust produced by these General Electric engines, Commander Walborn will roll blowing number 5, 360 degrees immediately after takeoff with the landing gear still extended. Simultaneously.
Beyond the airfield and airspace, you are clear for takeoff. Have a good one. Thanks, Mo. Souls, we're cleared for takeoff. Souls, ready to rock, Brunswick, boss. We're clear for takeoff. The wind's 1908. That's ahead of us. Check mark, we're off. Look at those wheels. There, gone. Maneuver time. Let's burn or go. We'll transition. One after down. Thanks, John. Let's see. Diamond clears on 9. Let's fire it up from Brunswick, Maine. That's the one.
Take your best shot, make your move. Oh, step right up. Who's next? You're messing with the best.
Now, to the right, Commander Kessler calls. Smoke on. Off the brakes now. Burners ready now. And the Blue Angel Diamond is rolling. As they pass before you, you'll notice that the smoke is no longer visible while the engines are in afterburner. that is likely familiar to those of you who have seen the Blue Angels perform in the past. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the diamond roll. All four aircraft flying as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver. Two solo pilots will next demonstrate the inverted flight capability of the F-18. Inverted roll. He'll execute a 7.5G afterburning turn and exit the flight line vertically, showcasing the Super Hornet's turbo nose-low capability. Spectator area, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are approaching the flight line at 400 miles per hour. Having rolled their aircraft 270 degrees and crossed with minimum separation. Rate of over 800 miles per hour, the opposing horizontal rolls. Vertical break. Commander Walborn and Lieutenant Commander Wright. The formation rolls to level. Each pilot will perform an individual brake turn and exit the flight line in a separate direction. The Blue Angel barrel roll brake.
With me, I swear, I'm gonna take you somewhere warm and j'adore. I know you won't be there. Every time I turn around, you disappear.
Taxes are due. Do my best, we'll begin with a 1 or a 2. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to just get by. Some days you're just on. Some days you're dead. Like you never die. Blues a little up in the sky. Your high's a little high. You feel that fire you've been missing. Some days you're
tilts his head back, picking up the flight line here in Brunswick. Over the top. In front of the crowd, the Delta is making their approach to the flight line. Approaching center point, the entire formation will separate in dramatic fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel Delta Breakout.
What if I'm far from home? Oh, brother, I will hear you call. What if I lose you?
One of the unique demands placed upon naval aviators is that they be able to land their aircraft on a ship at sea. Whether it be a tactical jet, a propeller-driven aircraft, or a helicopter, each requires skill which the naval aviator must possess for the proper touchdown point. Demonstration pilots you've been watching perform here this afternoon are but a small part of the Blue Angel team. The men and women in blue uniforms standing before you are members of the elite Blue Angel maintenance crew. Through hard work, many long hours, and unselfish dedication, they have each year for the past 75 years provided us with the aircraft availability necessary to perform each of these flight demonstrations. As the aircraft taxi back, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the Blue Angel maintenance crew. Command Master Chief Eric McCurry from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Maintenance Master Chief James Hernandez from Norwalk, California. Maintenance Chiefs Ismail Milan from Hillsboro, Oregon. Greg Ogle from Newport News, Virginia. Crew Coordinator Jeff Jajus from Go Naives, Haiti. Crew Chief number 1, Jeremy Race from 7 Maryland. First Mech Paint Shop, Jerry Ross from Moss Bluff, Louisiana. And Andrew Gibson from Charleston, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Blue Angel Maintenance Crew. Secured their engines, the pilots will simultaneously exit their aircraft on a signal from Commander Kesselring. It has been an honor and our pleasure to perform for you here at Brunswick, this our 33rd flight demonstration of the 2021 season.
What?
They do it at the
Yeah,
end.
but look how quickly it cleared out.
Brielle, get out of Daddy's chair.
It cleared out quick.
Now.
Because people know it's the end, they just take off. You might as well just hang out with the crowd.
Can I have your ear thing, bro?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna be just so long of a wait. You can either wait here or you can wait up there.
Daddy, there's nobody in line for the helicopter. And I want to go over to the camel thing.
Yeah, we'll go check out the camo one first. Here.
I didn't drink all my Gatorade.
Hurry, I need to put my chair.
I want to bring my Gatorade home.
Hey.
No, that's mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Atlanta, Georgia.